In this video, we're going to go over 15 minutes of useless information about Skate 3. Big shout out to the Skate 3 community and the other Skate 3 creators who found this information. If any good ones were missed, go ahead and share them in the comments. And with that said, let's get right into it. Since its release, Skate 3 has sold over 4.74 million copies across all consoles, beating out Skate 2 at just over 1.93 million sales and the original Skate at 1.08 million. The world record for beating Skate 3 currently sits at 29.33 seconds. Skate 3 has 43 playable characters, most of which are actual pro skaters or industry skaters. There's also several hidden characters in Skate 3, including Dem Bones, which is a skeleton, Meat Man, which is a giant steak, and a Dr. Pepper can, which is, well, a can of Dr. Pepper. In addition to those, there's also a few others, such as a Danny Way variant with pads and a helmet, and also Isaac from Dead Space. Most of these characters are unlocked through beating the game or entering cheat codes, but there's also a very active modding community that creates hundreds of other characters you can play as. The soundtrack for Skate 3 contains 46 tracks, which were chosen specifically based on their usage in actual skate videos that have come out over the years. Several skate spots in Skate 3 were also based on real-life skate spots. For example, instead of the famous spot 3rd and Army in San Francisco, there's a spot in the game called 2nd and Navy. If you look around the map, all of the clocks are set to 420. Also, many of the dates are April 20th. The art gallery has a restaurant menu in the window. They have 4 eggs, 12 bacon, 2 potatoes, and a rock. When you summon your board as a regular skater, you jump a lot further than when you do it as a goofy skater. In Battlefield 2042, the full circle logo can be found at the skate park on the Kaleidoscope map. This is a nod to the studio developing the new skate game, since EA owns both Skate and Battlefield. The current record for the longest grind in Skate 3 is 6,693 feet. But it was done using a mod, since technically there aren't any natural rails on the map that are even close to that length. A secret pool can be found in the Danny Way Hawaiian Dream DLC map that has a very suspicious shape if you look at it from above. Coach Frank is actually former pro skater Jason Lee, who's the founder of Stereo Skateboards. He's also the guy from My Name is Earl, as well as Alvin and the Chipmunks. When you're trying to go faster, doing nollie pops actually gives you a slight speed boost. There's a glitch that allows your board to sink into the ground, making it look like you're snowboarding. For some reason, at the top of the Skate 3 map, there's a weird glowing tree. Or maybe it's holographic. There's a famous speed glitch in Skate 3 where you throw your board and then jump and summon your board at the same time, and your character gets launched at full speed. This can also be used in combination with a ramp to do what's called the launch glitch. There's an invisible stair set you can walk on at the university. Skate 3 has a ton of product placement, which is kind of self-evident given the abundance of Monster Energy vending machines, the T-Mobile objects you can place, the Miracle Whip objects, and the giant Dr. Pepper can you can skate as. Other than the Dr. Pepper character, there's also other Dr. Pepper gear you could unlock when Skate 3 first came out using codes underneath the bottle caps, but a lot of them are pretty hard to get today. If you drop in on a basketball hoop, it does this. You can also drop in on other weird objects for a similar effect. To get colored grip tape, add a custom graphic and make it really big until the texture covers the entire board. You might have already noticed, but your character and board will slowly get scuffed up over time. In Skate 3, you're limited to which objects you can place depending on what part of the map you're in. This is why some objects aren't always available. It definitely takes a lot of effort, but if you use the launch glitch and jump sideways, you can get to the top of the crane in the quarry. Next to the clock tower at the university, there's a Port Carverton historical marker that says, "Original university campus was built in 1889. The campus was made entirely out of dried toothpaste." Beside the plaque, there's a small sign that says, "At this location in 1924, PCU influenced the world by discovering quarry mining techniques using flatulence." Because who doesn't love a good fart joke? Aside from all of the unlockable characters, there are cheat codes that allow you to skate as a mini skater, skate with a hoverboard, or turn pedestrians into zombies. If you listen closely, there's a few funny voice interactions that the characters in the game will cycle through.
Yo, you know what happens when you walk away? I climb out of the game and into your house and then into your mind. Oh, you decided to come back. Did you bring me something?
Around the map, there are plenty of recycling posters, but if you get up close and read them, they actually say, "It's pointless, but it sure makes you look good," which isn't too far from the truth. Most characters in Skate 3 have the same exact trick animations, but there are certain pros in Skate 3 that will have a slightly different style than other skaters when doing tricks. This includes Rob Dyrdek, Mike Carroll, Jason Dill, Jerry Hasu, Danny Way, and PJ Ladd. Near the observatory, there's a street sign telling you to look out for unicorns. Around the map, there's a ton of posters for this weird movie. In career mode, you skate slightly slower than in an online lobby. There's a secret tunnel in the quarry hidden behind a bush that eventually leads to a rooftop on the other side. There's actually more dart catches available than the ones in the trick guide. If you jump and do a judo, it can crash everyone's game in the lobby. You can speed glitch at the Super Ultra Mega Park and make it on top of the mountains outside of the map. Put a billboard on its side to walk on places that are out of bounds. In the back of one of the Daily Estates houses, there's an Easter egg where you can hear a baby crying through the wall. Skate 3 actually has a subtle nod to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. If you go to the map editor and place a camera, you can look closely at the screen and see a cover of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. When you import a friend skater who wears high socks and change their outfit to shorts, it makes their legs invisible. In the downtown section of the map, there's a low fence you can hop over, and if you follow the stairs up, it leads to a hidden bowl. There's a bait shop near Hastings Park that's called Master Bait and Tackle. Get it? Master Bait? No? Throughout the map, there are movie posters for a movie called Stranded Again, and if you look closely, it has some pretty sarcastic reviews. There's also other movie posters around the map for a film titled Zombie Fighter 2012, from the creators of Mini Skaters, which is a hint at the hidden characters you can unlock with cheat codes. A few rare items can only be obtained in Skate 3 if you played the demo and recommended the game to a friend, but if we're being honest, they really aren't that impressive. You can do a speed glitch using a piece of plywood. There's a hidden town outside of the map by the Carvatron that you can get to if you launch glitch and land on the roof, but you can't really skate on the floor, so it's a little pointless. The bowl on the cover of Skate 3 isn't actually a spot in Skate 3. The official world record for the longest manual in Skate 3 is 42,099.6 feet. The orange newspaper boxes in the game that say 4.2 on the side of them are reminiscent of the newspaper boxes in Vancouver where Skate 3 was developed. On the side of the road, there's an electric repair store that says EA Black Box, which, as many of you probably know, are the developers of the game. In the industrial district, you can spawn in a rail that does this when you pick it up. The names of the Skate 3 developers are sprinkled all over the game. This includes a ship named Dong Mei Line after Dong Mei, Marafa Skate Park named after Michael Marafa, and the Chan Center, which is named after Kobe Chan. Also, much of the map was named after Don the Mad Carver Hartley, who was a skater and friend of the developers that passed away in 2009. Several renderings of concept art for the Skate 3 map have been released, and although there are some similarities, the map that was ultimately made ended up being a lot different. If you place objects on top of this parking garage, the shadow shows up underneath, for some reason. The double bridge gap is widely considered to be one of the most difficult and most popular gaps in Skate 3. If you spawn a box inside of other objects, you can often drive them. On one of the buildings on the campus, there's a small sign that says, "I can't believe you're actually reading this. What are you doing? Now get out there and skate." The Art Gallery DLC was unfinished when it was released, and there's a bunch of ways you can get past the barrier to skate the unfinished sections of the map. It's really bizarre because one of the ways just involves walking around a corner, and it's also weird how so much of it is actually skatable. A lot of these unfinished sections are pretty basic, but they can be fun to explore. There's a list of showings at the cinema that includes Sandman Pirates, Ollie Up, and Shriek, which seems like a reference to Shrek, but like maybe the Walmart version or something. I don't know. Skate 3 was first released on May 11, 2010, which is also known as National Eat What You Want Day, National Technology Day, National Hostess Day, and National Foam Rolling Day. This is the actual cover art for the next skate game. Not really. In the park builder, you can place some large objects that allow you to climb on top of the buildings. If for whatever reason you no comply to nose blunt on a cone, this is what happens. Originally, Skate 3 was only playable on Xbox and PlayStation, but there's now emulators on PC that you can use to play it as well. There's a missing texture glitch in Skate 3 that will mess up your character's legs and board. To beat Skate 3, you must sell 1 million boards total. However, the official world record for the most boards sold in Skate 3 is 1,103,851,600. It is a little outdated though, so this may have been beaten by now. Certain tricks in the game are only possible to do in easy mode. If you go to Walmart, you can launch glitch onto the roof, and from there, you can glitch through the roof. It then leads to a secret path outside of the map that ends off in a massive grassy field you can skate on. There's a ton of custom skate parks you can download in the community tab. These range from parks with unique themes to recreations of real-life skate parks and skate spots. To do a 1260 in Skate 3 without any mods or glitches, go to the Super Ultra Mega Park and jump into the bank that leads to the diving board. Skate into the quarter pipe at the bottom and hit the corner pocket of the bowl. It'll probably take you a pretty long time to land it, but it is possible. If you jump into a Super Dude, you can do a bounce glitch that allows you to get on top of skyscrapers. Now, to get off of tall buildings without falling, carve the wall on the way down to slow down your speed. Someone actually bought a star and named it Skate 4 in an effort to get EA to make a sequel to Skate 3. Barriers can be used to clip through walls. In the After Dark DLC, if you go up to the asylum wall, you can hear the screams of inmates. Outside of the map at the art gallery, you can drop objects to get onto a building. Then you place some more objects, preferably a dumpster and a kicker, and use that to launch glitch to a hidden basketball court in the middle of the map. Honestly, the fact that someone found this and managed to get to it is far more impressive than the spot itself. This is the tallest building in Skate 3. It takes a ton of time and effort to get on top of it, and it's probably not worth it. The ledges at the Memorial Plaza are said to be based on a Holocaust memorial, which makes it kind of messed up to skate there if you think about it. Underneath this dome at the university, there's a small hidden room. A lot of the stores in Skate 3 have slightly sarcastic names. For example, there's the Squirt Store, or the WT Fudge Store, or the golf store that's called Wrong Hole. Also, let's not forget Rick Rolls, which is a reference to Rick Astley. There's a term in the Skate 3 community called trick lining, which is a series of tricks designed to get as many points as possible that must contain a flip, a revert, or a transfer. If you set your marker on top of a manual pad, then spawn a bunch of manual pads on top of it, then go back to your marker, it acts as an elevator, allowing you to clip through the map or get to hidden places. There's a hidden message in this graffiti.
Got him.
A lot of patch glitches can be available on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 if you just clear the game cache or delete the updates. As a promotion for the new skate game, Full Circle released a limited run of collector skate decks. Now, obviously they're collector's items that aren't meant to be skated, but the bolt holes don't actually line up with trucks, so you couldn't skate them even if you wanted to. Skate 3 is such an iconic game that people have remade it in other video games. If you teleport to this location and reset all objects, a trash can will spawn in and come flying at you. You can launch glitch out of the skate school area and land in the room where you edit your skater. There's a few random objects floating underneath the map, and no one knows why they're there. If you do this gesture while standing on an umbrella table, it'll fly. When Skate 3 was first launched, Etnies and America both released custom Skate 3 shoes that you can use in the game. This movie poster is a ripoff of Lethal Weapon, and apparently it has amazingly forgettable action.
Boom. Roasted.
Skate 3 has what's widely considered to be one of the most dedicated communities in gaming. People have fully recreated professional skate videos, they've recreated famous skate parks, and they've established basically the equivalent to a trickshot community with the various challenges that they do. In Skate 3, there's no special button to hippie flip, you just have to time it perfectly. If your wheel gets stuck in a can and you repeatedly try to grab your board after ollieing, you can slowly ascend into the sky. Skate 1 and Skate 3 have both been remastered, but not Skate 2, likely due to issues getting rights to the soundtrack, which is the same problem they had with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. There's this really cool mod in Skate 3 where you can skate in first person, but it looks like you don't have a head. If you fan your body out when you bail, you can float a lot further, which makes it easier to get to hidden places. Skate 3 was the first game from the Skate franchise to offer multiple difficulties, allowing for either easier skating or more realistic skating. There are some super rare Skate 3 decks out there that you could only get while pre-ordering the game. If you get an NPC mad enough, they'll tase you. The same thing can also be true in real life. If you do a backside grab to mute or a frontside grab to stale, it counts as a 180. If you look around while skating down Observatory Road, there's a few funny billboards. It shouldn't be possible to ride on this fence, but it is. There's a popular theory that in Skate 3, your character is actually dead. This is because in the beginning, he takes a slam that likely wouldn't be survivable, and immediately after, he gets invited to start a team. Not only that, but objects fall out of the sky, the entire world is skate friendly, and most importantly, in the first death race in Skate 2, they take a moment of silence for Fabio, who apparently died in a race. However, Fabio is still alive in Skate 3. The license plates on cars in the game spell out the word skate. A lot of mods can be used in Skate 3, and they give you the option to make pretty much anything possible. For years after Skate 3 came out, people spammed all of EA's various Instagram accounts telling them to make Skate 4. As dumb as it sounds, this strategy seemed to work, because eventually EA gave in and announced the development of a Skate 3 sequel. Links to a lot of this info will be in the description. Shout out again to all of the Skate 3 creators and community members for finding this stuff, and with that said, thanks for watching.